And now, time for our annual baseball preview countdown to opening day. Over on the big board, it is also time for Over Under. And with us, Zach Tawatari, Luis Ortiz. Guys, are we ready for baseball season with opening day on Thursday?
Let's get to it. First pitch right around the corner. Play ball!
Yeah. Also joining us, KHOU 11 baseball analyst Jeremy Booth. Jeremy in a hotel room somewhere. Jeremy.
Yeah, it's that time of year again, Jason.
Yes, it is. Now, the Astros, of course, are at home. So let's do this. Over-under betting lines from betonline.ag. Total home runs this season for Yordan Alvarez, 30.5. Are you going over or under, Jeremy?
I'm going to go over. I think he has enough opportunity to stay healthy, enough at bats. I think he's motivated to do that. I think the lineup actually is pretty deep if everybody's on the field. So while I still don't love him hitting second. I'm never going to love him hitting second. I think 35 to 40 is where he's going to land.
Ooh, I like that too. I'm going to say over as well. What about Zach and Luis?
I got to go over. I mean, that's a pretty conservative number if he's able to stay healthy. He's proven that he can get over 35 pretty easily. So 30.5, pretty conservative to me. I think he goes over.
Make it a clean sweep for me if you don't mind.
Okay, yeah, you got it.
We go over. I think the biggest question here is whether he stays healthy or not, right? Yeah. That's probably the biggest factor because we know he can hit. We know he's got the power. And to Zach's point, 30 home runs is probably pretty conservative for a guy like Yordan. It's all about whether he can stay healthy and be able to get those at-bats.
So it's 4-0 over. On to the next one, and this is interesting as well. Runs batted in this season for Carlos Correa. The over-under is 57.5, Jeremy.
I'm going to go over. And by a lot, just because, again, I think this lineup is pretty talented. It's got some depth. It has some injury risk up and down. There's no question about it. But these guys together will produce runs upon produce runs upon produce runs. And I'm going to bet on them staying on the field and that they've learned how to use their personnel. So I'm going over.
Over or under for you two?
I'm going to have to go over. I mean, 57.5 RBIs, that's like nothing. I mean, but there's a reason that number's there. Last year, his production declined quite a bit, so you can't fault them for that number, but no, he's going to be over.
I go with over as well. Yeah, I think, like you said, it's a pretty low number. It kind of goes hand in hand with Yordan, right?
Yep.
As far as can he stay healthy? It's also, I think Carlos, maybe he stays pretty healthy this year. You never know, right? But more than anything, can he be consistent, right? Can he find his timing? Can he really be connecting with the ball? So we'll see. He has a chip on his shoulder maybe this year, playing third base at full time now. He said he wants to win a Gold Glove there. So I think Carlos probably wants to go out there and put up some runs.
And as far as being health related, I think him playing third base, and he has mentioned this, less moving around. You figure that he's going to be on the field more, so I'm saying over as well. And put it this way, if he is not over, it's going to be a very bad season for the Astros. So 57.5, that is over all around. Up next, Christian Walker time. Total home runs for Christian Walker. Oh, look at Jeremy. Jeremy's rubbing his hands. Over under is 26.5.
Yeah, I don't know. You can't hit half a home run. So we're going to have to go, you're going to have to move that line one way or the other. And I'm still a big Christian Walker believer. Once again, lineup construction, where they hit him, all the same things that go with Correa and with Alvarez and any other hitter that they've got. I'm going to go over. I'm big for Christian Walker adjusting to the league, having a much bigger year when it comes to comfort zone in the city, if the people, something to prove. So I'm going to go over, and I'm even going to go more than a couple over. I'm going to go above 30 for him in his 2026 season.
I think that sounds really good as well. I'm going to say over. Christian Walker, coming to spring training, told us that he has slimmed down, and I would imagine that, listen, when a guy changes teams, big contract, there perhaps is some pressure. You feel it, you press, you squeeze the bat a little tighter. I think Christian Walker's in for a big season. I'm saying over and way over as well.
I think it's over, but I'm not going with you guys and going way over, okay? I think this is a guy who's maybe a little bit on the decline. He's getting older. Last year, he was flat out getting beat. He was
much better in the second half. Much better in the second half.
And how many games do they play in the LA area? Because he hit really, really well on that road trip. For some reason, he got a lot of his home runs on the road in the LA area. I do think it's over, but I'm not as bullish as you guys are.
One thing that you just said is you think he's towards the latter end of his career or on a decline. I kind of feel this way about quite a few of the guys on this lineup, right?
Makes sense.
Yeah.
For the sake of controversy, I'm going to go with under. I don't want 3 straight clean sweeps, and we're all just saying over. I don't know. Let's see. I wasn't too convinced by Christian Walker last year. I think probably it's a consensus that he maybe underperformed, right? But we'll see. Can he have a bounce back year this season? I'm going to go with under.
All right.
Just under.
There you have it. Time now to turn to pitching. Hunter Brown, ERA over under 2.75. That is quite the number, though. Jeremy, last year he was at 2.43, I think. Where are you landing, over or under?
Yeah, he's had a rebirth in his own career while he's been in the big leagues, and the good ones do that. He's become a front of the rotation starter firmly in his workhorse era of his career. The sinker is a weapon, and he's around the zone. He's very efficient now with what he does. He gets guys to chase when he's out of the zone. And so for me, that means it's a better year than he had last year. Now, I know a 2.4 anything is really, really minuscule, and it's dominant as it is, but I think he's really entering his prime, and I got him going better than that, so way under 2.75.
Wow, that is something. I mean, in this day and age of offense, woo.
I'm going under as well. I think Hunter Brown's going to be a front runner for the Cy Young. You look over the last couple of years where those guys have landed, it's right around 2.35, 2.4. I think he's going to be one of the top 2 Cy Young contenders, and I'm going to go out and say he's going to be the best piece of this Astros team this year.
Well, he was in the conversation for the Cy Young last year, right? He didn't end up winning.
Top 3?
He was in that conversation. I think, to Jeremy's point, too, entering his workhorse era, I think he's grown in that way. I'm going to go with under. He's grown in that way where he can go deep into games, deep into the season, not really restrict him as far as how much he actually throws. And I think he's entering his prime. Hunter Brown, to Jeremy's point, reinvented himself and has just elaborated his arsenal. And he's just getting better and more confident. I think he's entering his prime.
Now, granted, this era of offense isn't quite like what we used to see, and certainly there have been a lot of changes to the game to help the pitchers, but 2.75 I think is still really low. I'm going to say over, but not by much. I think if Hunter Brown has an ERA of 2.88 or 2.91, I don't think anyone's going to have a problem with that. So I'm going to say over on that one. And now, on to the new guy, Tatsuya Imai. This is interesting. Over-under of 8.5. Listen, I think, Jeremy, they have to be over on this because given what they're paying this guy, listen, for them to have any chance this season, I think he's going to have to be over 8.5. So I'm going to say over.
Yeah, he's going to have to pick it up and hit the ground running here. They don't have – the Astros' hole isn't whether or not they've got veteran offense or whether or not they've got a frontline starter. The Astros' holes are depth. And this guy was brought here to be a depth piece that's consistent and contributes to wins at the major league level. So I'm with you. He's going to have to be over just by necessity for these guys to be good. Having him underneath that is a bad sign. It's not a good one for the course of the year. So he's going to have to be over. So I'm going to go with that.
All right, I actually put 2 checks here. So we have 3. That's how important it is.
Yeah, that can be mine. That can be mine right there.
Okay, so you want to go with over as well?
Yeah, I go with over as well. I think 8.5 is a pretty decent number. Look, it's going to be interesting to see how he adapts pitching against Major League Baseball hitters, right? I think it's a different level as far as it is back in Japan. But to your point, yeah, he's going to have to get that type of number of wins in order for them to have a successful year.
And not just the first time around the league. We're talking second, third, fourth. That's where it's really going to be interesting.
I like this guy. I think he's going to be over. I'm going around 10 wins for him, actually, because I love the slot that he throws from. It's different. It's a 3/4 slot. The ball has a different kind of life to it, and I think guys coming over from Japan right now are way more major league ready than they have been maybe 15 years ago. This is a new day for Japanese pitchers.
Jeremy, give me a number on where you think Imai could end up when it comes to a 1-loss record.
It's going to depend where he slots because he's going to take some beatings at the same time. First time through the league, second time through the league, he's going to have to adjust and they're going to adjust back to him. I'm going to say at the start that hitters are going to be ahead of him just on the learning curve, right? As far as what he's going to have to deal with here. But I think he settles in around 10. I think 10 wins, 10 and 6, 10 and 7, somewhere in there. It's just above 500, but it's enough to help push them over the top, especially pitching in that slot in the rotation.
Man, I would think that the Astros were hoping for 12 to 14. That's what I think that they would be hoping for.
That's high, though.
It is, but
for a first-year guy.
The hope part is great. Once upon a time, I hoped I ran a 6.5 60, and it didn't work out. So I think when it comes down to what the Astros would love to see out of him, it's great. But this league, we've seen it so many times. It's going to humble you. It's going to get there quickly. And if you've never been here, he has never been here. He's a rookie over here. Yeah. He's going to have a learning curve where the hitters are going to be ambushing him, studying him, being far ahead of where his profile is going to have him ready to go. It doesn't mean he's not going to adjust. They wouldn't have signed him if they didn't think he was going to adjust and become a valuable contributor. So, 10 wins in your first year is a pretty good year. It's just not going to be 14 or 15.
And now the big one, total wins using Baseball Prospectus, which has the Astros at 84.5, and I know, Jeremy, you can't have half a win. 84.5, over or under that number?
What are we doing with these halves?
That's how you win or lose a bet.
That's how because you have to pick one. You got to say 84 or 85.
Can't tie.
Yeah, no, I understand the concept of what we have to do, but what are they doing landing on a half a number? Pick one, pick a direction. You know what I mean? It's 84, it's 85. I don't get the half stuff. But with that said, I think they're going to be just under that at 84 wins. I think that's where the team lands. I think it's just above the 500 club. I don't have a ton of confidence that everybody's going to stay healthy, and I really don't like their depth, certainly on the mound. So I think this is a competitive club. I think they're in the conversation to win the division. I think this division is going to beat up on itself, by the way. I think they're absolutely going to go at each other left and right, and nobody's going to run away with it if we're starting it today. But that said, 84 wins about right. So if flip a coin, I'm going to go below or 84.5, and I'm going to land in a solid 84 wins.
Who wants to go next?
I'll go. I think that is a very, very good number, 84.5, because it's difficult. They won 87 games last year. For me, the biggest question around this team is going to be the hitting. Jeremy has said he likes the lineup. For me, I just think, man, these guys, I think for the last 3 years now, we've seen how much they've really struggled to hit the ball. The biggest strength for me would be the pitching, although, you start without Josh Hader. Sousa is also out right now to begin the season, right? Look, you get some of the guys back, some Christian Javier coming back. Hopefully, Spencer Rigetti is able to contribute. You talk about maybe Ronel Blanco coming back at some point. So I think that'll be the strength for them. I'm going to go with just under as well. I think 84 to maybe 83 wins, maybe 3-4 wins less than last year is a pretty good number.
I'll go. That's fine. I'll go. That's fine. You know what? I actually am going to go over, but not by much. I'm going over at about 85 wins. I think this is a very competitive wild card team. I don't think this is a division-winning team. I don't think that their offensive lineup has the potency to do that. I think that they're going to have good starting pitching. I don't know about the bullpen depth, but I think they're going to struggle at the plate overall.
I think that the hitting, and Jeremy and I talk about this all the time on Extra Bases, if they put guys in the right batting order, the right position, this team will be able to hit because it appears to have a deep lineup. I'm worried about the pitching, especially the bullpen, given the injuries and things like that. However, I still think I'm going to go with 85. I'm going to say 85 wins because I don't think losing Framber Valdez, you're going to improve. So I'm going to say 85. I'm going to say there's a natural regression, but just a little bit. So, Jeremy, 85 wins or 84, whatever the number is that enough to get them into the postseason?
It's going to depend on when they get those wins and what kind of a lead they have. I know people talk about numbers and we have to look at overall record, but this club this manager traditionally has managed his extras, his 4A guys, his supporting cast better than he's managed his stars. And you cannot win in the big leagues without taking care of your stars. So I think Joe Espada, in his third year as a manager, should have learned, and I say should have because, again, it's 30 years as a manager, should have learned from the first two with the mistakes with the lineup and trying to force square pegs in the round hole, so to speak. You got to be able to roll this thing through. And if you can do that, you can beat up on guys in the right spot and you can get in. I'm with Zach. I think it's a wild card club. I have them making the playoffs overall as we sit today, but they're going to need some help, and that is playing hot at the right time and also keeping guys healthy to do it.
And there you have it. Countdown to opening day with a little over-under. Jeremy Booth on the road. Looking forward to seeing you on opening day. And as always, we love seeing you here on Sports Extra. Thanks for being with us.
Yeah, man. Good to see you.